With your hosts, Andy and Nicole. Super Chat.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hello. We have a full house. Welcome, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you know what? I was just saying to Heidi and Tommy just before Nicole come on. It's a strange one because I've been so looking forward to Heidi coming on because I go on Heidi's and we chat a lot in the chat or verbally, and then I'm typing away. But we've never actually spoke face to face, and it's just last time she was supposed to come on. It was the you had the fires, didn't you, in California?
Yeah,
so you
got
had
a
to
little
look
crazy.
out because she's doing a thing at the school
fundraiser.
Fundraiser. That was it.
Yeah.
So it's like, so officially last Friday would have been the last Friday, but it's like there's no way I'm waiting until the end of the year to get Heidi on. So Good Friday,
Thanks.
perfect Friday. So
Bad Friday.
yeah, so well. Yeah. So what? Well,
Yeah, this is not the last Friday.
That's what I keep saying, but Andy.
It'll be on next week, 100%.
Remember when we tried to?
Yeah. What was it? I stopped doing Wednesdays.
2 weeks. 2 weeks and people wanted it back.
Yeah, he'll call you Tuesday saying, Friday.
Yeah.
Got an idea.
So I stopped doing Wednesdays and then started doing Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. So yeah. But I've got too much going on. There's no way I could fit a Friday in after this week. It's just not happening. So
Start placing your bets now, people.
Yeah. Everyone's like, yeah, all right.
yeah, that's the story I'm sticking to, by the way.
It's
So,
like the reunion tours that she had, and she's still going.
I've done. My arm looks deformed, but I've done a skin tattoo, just a little stick on one, and I did take a photo of it, and it looks better. So there.
Oh, cool.
Nice, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so not too big, not too small, and they're quite bright. But that's just been rubbing on my top, so that's why it looks like it does. Oh, so it's going to be a bit mixed emotions, I think, on this one. Just because of, I don't know, Tommy's here.
I'm here for 10 minutes.
He never turns up.
I couldn't miss this one.
Today. No birthdays today.
I had to use emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
I
did.
did.
You?
He really did as well.
I did. I actually wrote emotional blackmail. What did I write? Emotional blackmail. Oh, resorting to emotional blackmail, I wrote.
Yeah.
So, anyway, go on.
I was going to say, does Nicole know what's happened as well regarding my
No.
crazy week? I had to have surgery yesterday. I had a cyst removed from my back, and yeah, I've had a bit of I had an infection in my back, and it's just wiped me out all week, and I had to remove the cyst yesterday. So I'm a little bit. I'm on high medication, a lot of pain.
Okay.
I've got a nappy on, but
I thought you weren't going to tell anyone.
No, I've got to. They'll be like, why is Tommy there for 10 minutes? So,
yeah.
That's how dedicated Tommy is. He doesn't even have to take a break.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a bathroom break.
Either
way.
Going right now. I'm not. That was a joke.
No. Oh, was it?
You never know, though.
No. So, Heidi, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I love all the giggles.
So sorry, this is what you're getting into.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. Are you kidding me? A bunch of giggles, shites, and giggles on a Friday. I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's
As long
good.
as it's not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Tommy's
giggling
fine in
and
that case.
shiting.
Yeah. Well, but Tommy's fine because he's got a man nappy on, so it's all good.
Yeah. If you could see the bottom half now, I tell you,
No, please don't do this to us.
I won't. I
Please
won't do
not.
it.
Don't
I
go
won't.
through it.
I won't do it. No, it wouldn't be pretty.
Oh.
It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good for YouTube.
No,
Nope.
I'm not
Nah.
worried about them. I'm worried about me.
Yeah.
You hold it
Oh.
pulled out too, so
Yeah.
Yes. That Tommy still wants.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for it.
wait, does Heidi know about how you pulled out your tooth?
No, I don't know that one.
So I pulled it out with the root and everything, and I was on a ton of like self-medication, ibuprofen. What do you guys call paracetamol? Just your regular painkillers.
Oh.
Tylenol.
Okay, aspirin,
Yeah.
Tylenol. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the equivalent to what we have in the UK. And I was on that, and then it was just getting more loose and more loose. And we're in Tesco, and a pound called Poundland, same as like dollar store. And I'm there with my mouth open. I've got Becky with the phone in my mouth, shining it to have a look. I'm wobbling it around. I must have hit a nerve because my head went, and I went, oh, funny, I thought I was going to drop to the floor. Anyway, I got home, and I'm just laying on the sofa, and I'm wiggling it. I said to Becky, I went, how long do you reckon before I get it out? She went, I reckon you'll have done it tonight. I went, about 10? Yeah. Within 8 minutes. I'm like, there you go. She said, well, then when she said, when you said about 10, you meant 10 minutes, not 10 p.m.
Oh my goodness.
And
Brave.
here it is.
soul. And he lives to
It
tell.
is.
Mhm.
Oh, you got it?
Do
Yeah,
you really
got
want to
it.
see it?
Yeah.
No, it's clean. I'm not like living dustbins or anything. There's a
It's like a little dinosaur, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like hooked in.
Heidi's thinking, where the hell am I? What show is this?
Oh yeah.
I think you should make copies and molds of it and may sell them as necklaces.
So
There you go.
I put it on Facebook, right? And my cousin's daughter messaged me saying, "Are you taking on any new patients?" So hard to get a dentist in the UK unless you go private.
Yeah.
It's just literally
Expensive.
That's why I saved myself about £500
You probably
taking
did.
500 taking it out
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
So
And it feels better. You're no infection. You're all
Soon
good.
as it-
Everything's great. Yeah.
yeah, it
So there
healed
you
up
go.
within
Yeah.
probably about 2 weeks.
Dang,
No
that's great.
infection, nothing. It's like great. I've
Yeah.
had, and since taking that out, which was November-ish, I've had one painkiller because I had a headache the other day. That's all I've had.
Yeah, that's great.
So
Wild.
The body
Wild.
knows what
I
to
know.
do.
Yeah.
Where's our thing that says this is not medical advice for entertainment purposes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You better put that up.
Right. I'm not a real dentist. I'm not a real doctor. I don't claim to be either of these. I just know how to do it.
When I told Andy at the start of the week about my cyst, I told him what I was feeling and all that. And did you say pop it? Was you the one who? You was the one who said pop it on your own. Pop it on your own.
I said get in the bath and just pop it. You'll be fine.
It probably went deep, huh?
Yeah.
Probably a deep one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oy.
So,
You'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm on the road to recovery now. It should be, hopefully, touch wood.
Like, you're on the road to somewhere.
Yeah.
Just where that somewhere's going to be. Oh,
question.
Yeah.
what? Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. I'm missing a load of chat.
Yeah. That's because we've been BSing for 10 minutes now.
Wow.
There's
There's
something
something
to
going
call.
on.
Oh, thanks, Carol. Hi, Carol. Hi, Bigfoot
Where?
Dwarf. Hi, Daryl. Hi, Jane. I see you guys there. Ah, that's
Right.
sweet.
Yep, sorry. So, what's been happening in the world of Heidi?
We're on spring break. Woo! Psh. Even homeschoolers have spring break. We homeschool, but we go to a learning center. So our little enrichment center's closed. So we're closed 2.5 weeks. So yeah, I'm in that world. I'm just purging and cleaning, and spring to me is the new year. I never feel like the new year in January. It feels like it's now. So we're like purging and shifting and moving things around, and you can feel the energy shift. So we're navigating that stuff. And my kids both have really big projects they're working on, and yeah, kind of doing that and getting ready for my big trip to the UK this summer.
Yes.
My first time ever.
Awesome.
So, we're going to give Heidi a Welsh accent pronunciation of places. This is going to be good. I can only speak
boy.
English. So, places in Wales that begin with double L are pronounced
Oh,
They're pronounced
like clan. It's not even a word, it's just a noise.
I can't even hear it. I can't even hear it come through the
sounds
speaker.
like Schwarzenegger. Oh, Simpsons.
So,
just gargle, it'll be fine.
Heidi
That's pretty
fella
much-
is living in Llandudno. Yeah. But it's pronounced Llandudno.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Why is that?
I feel like we're
But-
on like a hot foodie right now.
if you'd have gone to another part of North Wales called Rhyl, RHY, it's so much easier to pronounce.
Oh. RHY.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
So
much
you've got-
easier.
So any of the words that begin with double L, you've got to start.
That-
Tommy,
I'm getting like demonic voices coming through. Is anyone else?
No, that's
Tommy's
coming from
looking
your
at
house.
me.
Is this just my medication sort of playing with me? I'm hearing like demonic voices.
No, it's those things you have trapped under the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So it's like
You're gonna
just
summon a demon.
Yeah. It's going all like deep and.
that's what he's got on his back. It's just a little portal. That's what it is.
Oh, it could be. It could be.
Let's
That would-
see the portal.
That would explain a lot.
All right, Andy. Say the
You
longest
got-
town in Wales.
I can say the last bit is Llangoch. The rest of it,
What is
I
it?
cannot say. What?
What is it?
Llangoch.
He's making that up.
My gran was Welsh.
Wow. Okay.
My
Like,
mum's-
like-
Time marker. I'm
mum's
gonna play
mum?
this
Yeah.
for the giant.
Llangoch.
Llangoch. So the name, that longest name, it means like the house next to the pond, next to the church. The house next to the church
oh my
with the
god.
bridge going over the pond. That's it,
That's
right?
that's the name of one
That-
word.
That,
Whoa.
this is what I'm saying. It means like the house
No.
next to the pond with the bridge on the road near the footpath with the ducks. It means something
Screenshot.
stupid like that.
That's insane.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
screenshot that.
I can't even.
Llanfair, Pool, Gwyn, go. Oh, go. That's it.
Go go go.
Not
I got that
Llanfair.
part. Go go go.
Yeah.
Wow. My kids in class always ask, what's the longest word out there? I think I have a new one for them.
There you go.
It's like the name of that fish in Hawaii, the humu humu nuku nuku apu a. That's the
Oh.
longest animal name.
Oh,
That's
no
a good
way.
one.
Never even heard of that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
Man.
Yeah, so if you don't know, my husband's the giant, we call him. We eloped a couple years ago before I could get over to him. He's Polish, but he moved to Wales, North Wales, when he was about 19. So we're gonna go out to Poland, and then from Poland go down Manchester and back, do a week in Wales, and do sightseeing. I've never been out overseas. I've never been across the pond, so this is gonna be a
Oh,
big
wow.
to do. Yeah, for me and my kids, who he just legally adopted. So now we're
Aw,
all, we might, I don't know how it all works, but we
Aw.
have to do visas and do all the things. But I'm super excited because I've been to Mexico once and I've been to Canada once. That's the extent of my travels.
Right. All I'm going to say is when you go to Manchester, have an umbrella and a raincoat. Doesn't matter what time of year it is, it will rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I grew up there.
all the time, like being in the US, every state is like a different country.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very much so.
And
Yeah.
it's
That's why I
huge.
love California, though. We have a little bit of everything. Like an hour each direction of me, I have all the seasons. So that's why I like where I am. But I'm from
Oh.
Chicago. I'm from the Midwest. So I like the mountainy where I'm at now. But same thing. Yeah. You go to a different state and you're like, it's a total different climate. Be
Different
prepared.
climate.
Well,
Culture.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
we've had every season this week.
Yeah.
It was 22 degrees. Then it was windy. Then it was raining. Then it was
Snowing today.
It was pretty much overcast. It's that I give up. I'll
Holy
still
Yeah.
never get used to it. It is that bad.
Wow.
Today is 70. Tomorrow it's going to be 80. And then like next week it's going to be back down to 35.
Wow. Nice.
I mean,
Yeah, we were cloudy in 50s, but I was 80 and sunny last week. So yeah, all that's happening.
So
I like
it's
the cloud.
to 52 here now. So it's not too bad for
Yeah.
10 to 9 at night.
Yeah.
At 52 Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Your thing.
There it-
Fahrenheit. I couldn't see. I've got so much stuff open on here.
It's like a
11,
cockpit.
11,
Yeah.
11 Celsius. Oh, that was hard work.
You should see it when we have to convert times during daylight savings time. It's awful.
Oh,
And it's just an hour, isn't it?
It's
It gets every year. It gets us.
yeah.
well, it's not just an hour. It's an hour over 4 time zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
And then someone
then-
will say,
Several weeks.
what time again? Yeah. So,
Sometimes
just
an hour early.
throws you out every single time. But just quickly, you see what I've done.
Oh, I
that's
like it.
Love it.
So
I'm gonna
it
do
is-
that to mine.
So I've just stuck that over the top. So now I've got the rabbit ears to going down the rabbit hole with Alienate UK.
That looks great. That's a good one.
I gotta get one.
Yes, I've got loads. So if you want them, they're there. Just look, you'll find. Right. So questions for Heidi. We need to stop having fun for a while now and get a little bit
I've-
serious.
I'm gonna have to go and change my nappy, guys.
Okay.
Because
Aw,
I've got to change position. I'm so sorry I can't stay on. I'd love to stay on all night. This is going to be a fun one, but I've got to
Come
move.
back
I'm
in a bit
so
if you
sorry.
want.
If that's all right, yeah. If that's okay, I'll jump back on.
Yeah,
sure.
I've just-
of course.
I've got to change up, have some meds.
Just
Pop back
just
in.
turn your camera off. Just turn your cam. Just mute and stop cam, and then we'll go
Yeah.
from there.
It's an idea. Could do. It's different. Okay. No, it's cool.
What's the fun of that?
Yeah. But if that's okay, then I'll come back. I'll let you know though, Andy. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Just jump.
I'd love to stay. Guys.
Happy healing. Happy
No worries.
healing.
Thank you. See you soon. Thank you.
See you in a bit. Bye.
Poor little
Aw.
thing.
We got
His
Tommy
bum.
so.
Yes.
His poor
Yes.
bum.
And he didn't have any pain relief to get it done either.
You could
Oh.
see him shifting. Yeah, he was uncomfortable. He was
Yeah.
doing his best. Yeah.
No. So it's good. So, how did you end up getting into the paranormal?
So good. Well, it has started childhood. Like I was, I was in tune child, but I also had a parent that was not, she didn't poo-poo any of my thoughts or what I'd see. And as a child, I was in the Pacific Northwest and I saw a Bigfoot, and to this day, I still swear I did. And my mom didn't shush me. She was like, yeah, it's a multidimensional being, a land guardian. Maybe you did. And so I was just like, huh. So it wasn't anything really fearful. I also saw a lot of orbs in my backyard. I thought I was having fairy encounters, very raised very much like that, in the woods and that kind of thing. Then we moved to the Midwest, and we lived outside Chicago area, but I spent about half the year in Wisconsin, right in the peninsula on Lake Michigan, like right in the peninsula there, a big hotspot, UFO hotspot. And in my early teens, I was having really strange encounters. I was picturing like grays in the doorway, and I had like white lightning in my room, and sleep paralysis, and a lot of craft spottings. And my mom too. My mom was having this happen too. So that's why it was another like, well, obviously this is happening because it happens to my mom too. And it wasn't feeling as good. And I'll do the super quick rundown of it. So that started, maybe at 7-ish was my being a child, and then to my teens. And then at my teens in Illinois as well, I saw like a blue silverish orb in my room that felt very comforting. I was getting put back in my bed. Like it was this surreal little moment. So it was scary in Wisconsin, okay in Illinois. And then I moved here to California in 2000, and it kind of went dormant. I was really just in my own world, 20s, doing my thing. But it kind of came around again for me when I had kids. Actually, right before I had kids, I had an experience at Shasta that kind of was otherworldly to me. And again, my mom was with me. So I don't know. And then I had kids, and I started seeing the world through their eyes. And I started just really diving into the dark parts of stuff. Like, what was the dark stuff happening to me as a kid? Why is my son having I can't wake him up? Why is he having terror dreams and like seeing things? And like, I really dove into that kind of paranormal stuff of the thin veil. Like, what can we not see in the 3-dimensional that's really actually there? And are our children seeing it? Kind of that stuff. So I did a lot of nosedives into a lot of things all at once. Meanwhile, working in Hollywood, I worked in Hollywood for 30 years. So talking about these things, I was the of service on set. I'd serve like the snacks, the coffee, the tea. Call it craft services, they call it, but they called me craftspiracy. So I talked about all this stuff. I talked about the little green guys. I talked about the Bigfoots. And I started finding who liked to talk about these things, but I also, learned more too. And so I've been always around it, I guess you could say. So even from a teen on, I would go to like these conferences and conventions with my mom and like be surrounded by these kind of communities. So I've always been questioning and wondering. And then just, again, being a mom, just honing in, trying to protect and do energetic protections. And so, I kind of dabbled in all little parts of it. And now I realize, everything is frequency, everything is energy, and everyone has a different perspective based on the experience they had and depending upon the state that they're in when they have them. And so now I left entertainment industry, and I'm an educator again, kind of what I went back to my schooling, and I kind of work on protecting the energy fields of children, teaching them how to do that, but also making sure they're heard, that maybe some of these kids have seen some things or experienced some things. I'm not overstepping any parental guidance, but at least to be a mentor, to be like, you're not crazy. That happened to me too, and so it's opening up a whole new world of generation that asks questions now. And all about empowering the kids right now. That's kind of like my little mission. But the paranormal thing, it's lifelong, and I'm 50 now. So this was like a 50-year bit of what's it all about? And I'm not just looking in the skies, I'm looking in the oceans, looking in the woods. They're everywhere. It's everywhere. I love these communities.
And I love how you work with kids to kind of validate their experience, because whether or not they actually physically saw what they're saying they did, that's their experience. They think they saw it.
Yes. Yeah. 100, definitely. And I'm fortunate enough that we are in this group of homeschoolers that they're very Steiner based, Rudolf Steiner, like very mind, body, will, consciousness. He's already like one step into the multidimensional himself back in the day, like a lot of his research and a lot of his studies. But a lot of these kids, out of maybe the 20 I have, there may be 4 that watch mainstream shows or anything. They're not really unplugged. They're not plugged in kids. They're unplugged kids. So they're very in tune. And so they don't have really a frame of reference for some of these things. So it's not like they're just like, oh yeah, that show I saw, and implanted an image, which some of the other kids are doing. Some really raw, natural kids are like, the energy just shifted when we walked over here. Why do you think that is? Like, they're asking really interesting questions. And my job is to not answer everything for them. My job is for have them to line up with source themselves and get the answers themselves, but also just to share my experience. Like, oh, I see how you felt that. How did it make you feel? Was that positive? Was it negative? Was it high vibration? Like just kind of guiding, mentoring, I guess. So that's been, and by doing so, the education comes. So it's like a whole new earth way of doing an education system. It's like the academics come when these children explore and question and do with their hands and build and make little fairy houses and, crystal grid the classroom. And, they're doing academics while they're actually studying the multidimensional worlds. And so, yeah. So we even last year, and they're even 8, 9, I'm with the same kids as we grow. And we're talking about all the clairs you can have, these gifts. I have a couple autistic children, which now they say that's, more of a gift. And we're just learning. I'm trying to help them become the best versions of human them that they can, and to learn that, they can take care of their meat suit. Their meat suit is meant to regenerate. And, making all these strange things going on in the world, empowering them with the ability to harness it, not be scared of all these energies. Because a lot of stuff's coming at their parents. A lot of stuff's coming at us really fast, the world's shifting. But if we really step away and look at the really, really big picture of it, it's more than just us here. So there's a lot more. There's also a lot of good. It just depends on your perspective. So, yeah. Those are my little rants. I go off, so you'll have to interrupt me. I'm a babbler.
Love that. I love that whole.
It's fine. No, that's good. Because
what was that, Nicole?
I love how you're getting kids to like answer their own questions. It's like, oh, the energy shifted. Well, why do you think the energy shifts? What could make that? Instead of just telling them, oh, like it's because of this. So they're coming to their own conclusion.
Yeah, we're learning now about our spirit animals, but also they understand. I'm coming at them with the mindset of their creator beings. They're creators. That's what they are, and they're all different. So it takes a lot of patience, but at the same time, I think it's proving a positive timeline for our education systems to really have educators that just go, ask them the questions back. You're right. Self-reflect, have them to be heard, to have them be seen and heard has been huge. They light up really big. It's not about finding the next kid that's going to like Obi-Wan something and move something in the sky. It's like, who's going to go out there and be a really good human in the world and be of service to others and let their gifts come through? Like, it's really about shifting the timeline for all the positive ways you possibly can. The multidimensional just naturally comes in with that when you think about it in the long run. But, you can't lead with that sometimes, or you're going to really segregate yourself to like a 0.5% of the population. And you're like,
yeah. But I was just going to say, with you saying about the kids and they're finding their own feet in the world of the paranormal, do you think that itself could be causing this dimensional shift that's going on?
In a positive way or negative? Well,
positive.
Yeah, because I do think kids have been like the number one commodity on the planet and off planet for like ever. So they're a target. So yes, and the more the guardians step up, the more the mentorship step up and protect these kids, that they're the highest frequency out there. I mean, roses are too, but they're like the super high vibratory being, and every industry is meant to suppress them. Like it's the food industry, the entertainment industry, the medical industry. It's all meant to just dim them. So if we really start raising generations with this beacon, it's kind of like going to naturally, I do believe in shifting timelines. I think, it's not an end all be all. That's our fate. We can shift it. And the way I feel, because I've seen the result in doing so, is to work with the children. and just protect them. Not like I used to. Like I used to be like stay away from my children. like they're coming for us, you know. And then I got woo. I got really woo. I mean, to the copper pyramids in our bedrooms and everything. Like I'm woo. But I'm also like, it can just be a simple shift in perspective too. And just a simple shift in your own vibration. And you can shift your own reality. So I'm excited by that. You know, for a class of 20 kids, you get so many different temperaments, and they're 8 to just a couple of them are 11. They're friends. Like they look out for each other. They lift each other. And I'm like, just with that unit coming from all these different households, that's pretty special. And I'm like, imagine that on a mass scale when we're just start learning to be civil with one another and honor each other for who they are. That's just been the big, I get shivers with that. And the parents thank me for that. Like they see that part. They're like, we're not trying to compete with state tests and do all these things, where there's a conscious group of parents that are coming on board going, okay, this is out of our control right now. The world is like in really a bunch of pieces. What we can do? We can create a home environment that's high vibratory living, regenerative health, you know, like just all the big things. And there's our little ascension. We can ascend and transcend all this loosh. But we're not in denial though of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you notice, like even like the kids shows today from when I was young, or even when my oldest son was young, they're so like ADD focused. Like they're almost pushing that on you. Like you can't sit down and watch an hour and a half movie anymore. You can only watch like 30-second shorts because you need a burst of activity in your brain.
Exactly. And I'm so right there with you, because we dabble in them both. I'm a media kid. I was raised in media. My kids are involved in it too, but there's a time and a place, you know, because I see the difference. And my son had a big kick in the pants with that recently because, I noticed we couldn't switch him off. And I'm like, okay, that's too much. You literally, your whole brain is going like this when everyone around you isn't. You have to learn how to settle in. And then I realized how much that we're doing that to our kids, the low attention span, and then all this mislabeling, and then here come the drugs. Like it's a regime. It's an agenda. But I've showed him some of my old classics, you know, my favorite 80s and 90s movies and everything, and they'll get bored. I'm like, but it's beautiful. And I'm like, oh, they're literally making movies differently nowadays. You know, everything's different. So working with unplugged kids, or making that the focal point of our classroom, you know, you're working with your hands, you're inside, you're outside, a media-free zone. So even some children who do media, we just don't talk about it on set. We want you want the mind to lead the way, the consciousness to lead the way. It's such a big difference. And I have a child that came to me from public school that is so plugged in that still to this day, I think, goes home and just checks out, goes on his screen. But he comes there and something in him is shifting. And I'm like, as long as we can have him for those many hours and do what we can with him here, he's going to hopefully have enough foundation to get him through all this muck. Because it makes a huge difference. Kids who are plugged in and unplugged. I have a lot to say with all that stuff, the ADA, all that kind of stuff. You see it with the foods, you know, sometimes they can't help it because they've been poisoned, or, you know, poisoned by what they watch and what they see. I have visions and daydreams of doing a kids show. Like I would love to do a kids show. I was obsessed with like Electric Company and you know, you can't do that on television and all those kind of fun shows. I'm like, they need some fun content for kids that could be made to be edited a little faster, but humor, more human. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Kevlar. Peppa Pig is evil. Oh, I did like Peppa Pig when I was. I mean, I liked it for my kids, but yeah, they didn't like it very much.
No, she was kind of an asshole.
Yeah, she was a big asshole. Yeah. They haunt you. The songs in Caillou, that song haunts me.
Oh, like, no, not Caillou.
I'm like, that gets in your head. 3, 2, 1 contact, my favorite. Hi, Clay. So I would show them on YouTube. I could show them some of my old stuff that I liked, and the Bloodhound Gang on 3, 2, 1 contact and all that stuff. They're into it, and I'm like, what is the difference here? I'm like, because it's kind of like sketch comedy, but it's there's truth in comedy. You know, when you make something funny and make it a little sketchy, but something that they're familiar with, you can teach that way. And get them moving and talking and feeling, and not just like staring and memorizing. They have to like move to like digest the information. We're studying the octopus now, and the consciousness of that, and how otherworldly, and that amazing documentary, My Octopus Teacher. I love that so much. We're media free school zone, and I sent a homework home. Go watch this. I'm like, sorry, parents. I think you'll like it too. Showing empathy and just showing. Yeah.
Was that?
Mhm.
Sorry, was that the one with the guy that befriended the octopus?
Yes.
And it kept. After a few days, it'd come and meet him, and they'd go out swimming together.
Yes. Yes. He
That was
documented for a long
Yeah.
time. It's
Yeah.
really well done. Really well done. Because we had just talked about stories about the octopus, and they asked me about, Bigfoot and, like Sasquatch. When we were picking our spirit animal, they're like, is a Sasquatch in there? I go, oh, I should have put that in there. I didn't. That was mine. So yeah, I love their questions. The questions are everything. You have to have a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure.
I couldn't be a teacher. Sorry.
It's hard. It is hard. Oh, I have my days. And for 20 kids, I still have an assist because that's the kind of on in person,
Yeah.
and you want a lot of one-on-one. And we still, some days we're like, do we get a coffee machine or a margarita machine? Like, what's going on here? We don't know what to.
Espresso martinis.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
Kill two birds with one stone. Some days it's like, oh, but then you accomplish something. Like we had a play, we did all this Norse mythology stuff, and it's like you see all the hard work and all the stress, and then it's over, and you're like, wow, we did that. And I turn around and they're high-fiving each other, and they're hugging, and they're like, I'm proud of you. And I'm like, oh, it makes it all worth it. All the, how hard it can get. And then I have two others. I have two littles. One is graduating 8th, going into high school. So we don't know what that looks like. There's no in-person high school. Here in California, the laws are so strict, the mandates, and we don't adhere to any of medical mandate stuff. So to go in person to have the classroom setting, we're very limited. We found a couple places where she can remain sovereign and show up for a couple days. But it might be our first time ever in 5 years that she might take a course online. She never really did that before, but we're gonna protect the sovereignty and try something new. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to pave the way with that and work with her a little one-on-one. Yeah. They just call me the woo. They're like, go do your thing, Mom. I throw in the woo when I can, when I parent. Hi, Latchkey.
It's hard.
Oh, thanks, Carol.
They get it from every direction, like social media, if they have that, and a lot of kids have it very young.
They do.
So they're just
Yeah.
getting things from every direction. It's hard to keep them in your little bubble.
It is really hard. And I do have two kids in my class that are on social, but because one is like a professional champion yo-yo guy and the other is like a really professional, cool skateboarder. So their parents run them and they get it. They're like, we're going to play the game, but not let the game play us. And it's part of their branding thing, like whatever they're doing. So you have to have parent involvement. And I think that's what happened. The screens, everything got ushered in as like a replacement to parenting, whereas it should have went hand in hand and should have been a controlled. It's a weapon of mass distraction and destruction. And so I've been in that situation, and I'm recovering when I had bouts of depression back in the day, things of that nature. Even 2020, there was rounds of like, well, I want to chill. And I went to chill, just binge my Netflix and stuff. Well, that's their sitter is the screen. And you just have to be careful because like we were saying, they're the number one commodity. So they're a target. So you just have to be really mindful what you are putting in your kids' field of view. You have to be mindful who their mentors are. And I'm really trying to dispel myths of homeschooling because it's such a hot commodity out here now. I'm using that word a lot. It's getting really big out here. It's running rampant. And LA people are leaving the public school in droves because of this curriculum they started ushering in and how toxic, how obvious the agenda started being. But now they're trying to latch down on the homeschoolers because they got so big. Like, oh, now we're going to decide where your money goes and all that. It's like, no, you're not. So the uprising is getting a little more civil, less pitchforks and more like, just watch us. What we can do instead of we're going to fight. And we're not fighting an old system. You guys can collapse. So kids, we have to just monitor all those things. And it sounds overwhelming, but it's really not when you find the right people, when you find your tribe, you find a good community, you're really supported and you can have other people educate your kids. You don't have to be the one doing it. I don't teach my kids.
Monitoring them used to be easier too, because like in the same lines of, you know, the content they're exposed to now, they used to make shows that you could watch as a family. Like your kid would
Right.
enjoy it, but they'd kind of sneak in a little bit of adult humor, so it was still enjoyable for parents to watch too. Now I wouldn't watch the crap that's on TV for kids.
I
Like,
know. There's some gnarly shows. Everything get ushers in. Once in a while, I'm like, what? And then, you know, that's when I realized my parenting, I have to step in. I have to be the bad guy. I have to say no, or I have to say, put my limits on. And that I got a little bit better with because I have to practice what I preach. But I've seen that myself. I've seen kids that are raised from me go that route. And it's like, you have to be on top of it. Yeah, you really have to. It comes from the parent. I talk about that with my buddy Lawrence on our Sundays. We do this holistic health talk. And it's really like you can't be blaming the kid for having these cravings or binges or having too much of something. You're the one bringing it in the household. So it really is. Parents have to take a lot more accountability these days than they have been. It's a lot of blaming the stuff when it's like, well, they wouldn't have it if you didn't allow it. So the foundation has to still, the roots have to come from the family.
Yeah.
The family unit and stuff. Yeah. I know. I have lots of screens too, Daryl.
I've had to open. So I've got this screen for StreamYard. Then I've got YouTube Studio. Then I've got 2 chats.
Oh, wow. Holy smokes.
And otherwise, I would not be able to keep up with what's going on. So this is how my screen looks.
Oh,
wow.
Cool. I knew it was. I would knew it was some techie like that.
It
looks like it would be. And I saw you had an EMF protection. Was that what? No, that was the Alienate UK sticker. What was their sticker on your phone? I was going to say you get EMF. Oh, there you go. Yeah. We got to get you an EMF beanie.
Protectors for your phone like that?
So again?
Like on the back, they have EMF protection.
They do. Yeah, I have a little one up here. They have some on Amazon even. You don't have to get too expensive. We also have the beanies that we'll wear sometimes. And I got a bunch of Faraday blankets. It's a very army, total blackouts, but I wrapped them on our headboards. And so, especially my daughter's, because she's closest to the street lights, which are all LED now. I'm really watching all this stuff. And then, and she's kind of at the side of the house where the meters are. So hers is covered. My son's got a blanket under his pillow, and we turn off our Wi-Fi at night now. So we're actually far less. We used to be downtown. We're in the valley of LA, like by Van Nuys. And there's a search you can do, antennasearch.com, I think. And you put in your address. And I had in a 3-mile radius, I had like 900 5G emitter towers and 700 5G like EMF radiation towers or something. And so where we moved, it's like down to 20. So I notice, I feel when I go there, my heart starts going a little more and I get this fog. So I'm like, if there's anything we can just keep doing to empower ourselves to just navigate this new wave of tech, everybody's going faster, more Wi-Fi but it's pinging through us still. And we're still, human meat suit that's supposed to regenerate. So we got to protect it here and there. And I teach the kids that. I'm like, yeah, we're going to be on the screens. Yeah, we're going to go to a movie. Yeah, we're going to do that. Now let's just power down our bodies too at night so they can rebuild. And that means crystals by the bed and everything.
I had a paranormal case because I go out and do investigations, and the whole source of this guy, they moved into a new building, the company, and his office had such high EMF that his personality was changing, that he was angry all the time, that he was unwell. And they thought it had to do with a haunting, in this new building, but it was just the crazy high EMF that he was exposed to all day long.
Wow. Yeah, nope. It's been known to do that for sure. Now, I mean, I would never, where we used to live, we had some hauntings there. Like you could feel it. And we had people who worked in the woo that would come over and she'd be like, redesign my mirrors and pictures. And she's like, you just got things jumping in and out all day. And when my ex, my kid's biological dad was so loaded with attachments and entities, very dark person, that when he walked in once or walked by, she saw 7 shadow figures attached to him behind him. And all that can get attached. They can jump off and loiter. So cleansing these spaces in these houses, man, that's a big to do. We're kind of fresh territory, but I'm doing it all the time now. I'm like, clean it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at my amethyst. Oh, yeah. I like all
But
that
it's like,
stuff.
it's like I just sent you the photo of all this. It all gets shut down. As soon as I've uploaded, downloaded, done what I need to do, shuts down. I literally, be once a week now. I switch the computer on about an hour, 2 hours before, just to check for any updates, and then let that run, and then come back up, clear it, turn it off, come back again, turn it back on, and then that's it till we
Well,
finish
there
the
you
show.
go. Yeah.
So
Some are
keep
like
it to
12-hour
minimum.
days. Yeah, keep it the minimum. We had a family member that got really sick with the big C. But his job, he was online all day, every day with all the gadgets in a big building,
Yeah.
no windows. I'm like, instead, if you went, you could go whatever route you choose, but try unplugging yourself just for 30 days and detoxing the metals and detoxing the pair. Just see what happens. And he leveled out. Everything cleared out. Yeah. We're against all those kinds of things. So again, like even with teaching kids, it's not teaching them the fear of what it can do to you. It just feels, wow, look at how cool your body can do this. It can regenerate, or you can block, things that are meant to lower your vibration. You can block it. Yeah.
Yes.
But I get a little harsher with my kids, like, be careful, get that zapping your brain, take it off right now. I wouldn't say that to the class.
Want to know a secret? I never turn my laptop off.
Oh, wow.
Get
Yeah.
out. Get out.
I close it and I just leave it running because it takes so damn long to turn back
Well,
on. It just takes all the time.
Saying that, I don't usually turn my iPad off. So I've got my iPad in front of me as well. So if I need to do a quick search, I can just get it up on there.
Mhm.
But for some reason, the last 2 weeks, I've just been turning it off. I never used to bother.
Mm.
And I couldn't even tell you why. I just felt the need to turn it
Just
off.
felt the need to do it. Oh, there you go.
Mm.
Your
Yeah.
fairies were telling you to turn that shit off.
Yeah.
Yes. It might have been the electric bill.
That'll do it too.
Could have been something to do with that. No. If it's not, I'll probably charge it. I don't use it that much. I do all my editing and that on there.
Yeah.
It's mainly, I probably charge it once a week, once every 10 days.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not a
yeah.
lot, really.
That's a balance, yeah. We get, all these. I mean, I have the LED ring thing here to balance this one, and then they have the videos of kids in classrooms with fluorescents and LEDs. It does shift something. It changes your frequency. So if you have to be around it, be so in doses, and then cleanse, and then get back out there again. Yeah, that's what we're living in. I don't subscribe though. I have a lot of I call them granola friends, that their dream is to get their own patch of land and have all their friends and homestead and stuff. And I'm like, I'm watching Outlander. I don't want to go back to working so hard. I like my modern luxuries and grocery shopping and all that kind of stuff. I don't subscribe to that. And I don't want to separate myself from society. I want to learn to work within it. And kind of Jedi my way through it all in a way.
Yeah.
Be in it, but not of it.
Just
and I'll visit my
dip in and out as and when you need to.
Yeah.
That's about everything though. That's like balance. Mm-hmm. You gotta have a balance.
A balance.
Yeah.
A balance with everything. And again, that makes it less stress, because if you're just balanced through, same with health, same with these EMFs, the more you look into it, you're going to drive yourself absolutely mental and stressed out the wazoo. And the stress is going to get you sicker than all those things together, I think. So just balance, stay balanced, stay cool. You got this.
Well, I've actually bought a load more new crystals. Some that I'd never heard of before. One is for multitasking. It's an orange, I think it's orange quartz or something. And then I've got a couple, I don't know if you can see, like ball ones. I think it's amethyst.
Nice.
There. And there's a green quartz. I think it's green. Or it might be blue. I don't know. It has like a bluey, greeny tint to it.
Beautiful.
So,
that's the official name.
They're really nice. Yeah, I've got. Do you know when you get a card with it, and you put the card down, and you don't know where you've put it?
Yeah. All the time. I
Yeah,
get all these
so
beautiful bits and baubles from little kids in class. Like I wear my little crystals all over, and one painted a rock. Like she just painted it and put little things on it. But to me, it has a high vibration because she put her love into it. So
yes.
now it's like sick. It feels good. So all these little bits and bops I get gifted, I save everything. I'm that hoarder of, if the kid made it, I save it. My kids have like Tupperwares of stuff, just like I just find the energy that comes from that so sweet, and yeah, all for the right reasons. So it's all
Yeah.
it's all in fact, that's the paranormal too to me. Like that's an energy that's interesting. Yeah, that's
Well,
I think-
It's
yeah,
energy
but I was
and
saying,
intention.
yeah, intention.
yes, because I was saying to Nicole just before we came on air that, as a lot of people in the chat know, the last few weeks I've been a bit down with particular platforms and not really feeling it. So I'm like, oh, do just keep going with it, see how it goes. And then I'd say the last week I felt the vibrations getting stronger and just can't speak, becoming more positive. And today, like I said to you guys before, I'm so looking forward to doing today's show. It's just, yeah, I don't.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
just,
awesome.
but all yesterday and today is. It might be because I'm off work for 4 days as well, but
Oh, that
that does help. But it's just yesterday and today. I was like, proper. You could feel it inside you, like busting to get out. It was one of them. So.
Do you think that has something to do as well with because you've put boundaries up? Like, I am not going to do this because I'm going to be a creator and step into another part of your mission. So it's kind of like a reward, this energetic, you probably let go of something that was, like you said, preventing you from exploring more and being out there more.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of stopping myself from doing it.
Oh,
but I think it was more Nicole's insight of this. She's caused not to do Friday anymore. Not even not.
Hey.
But because Nicole, because she sets up the public and private investigations, so she's doing a lot of events and that. I'm like, right, I need to get my ass into gear, get up and start going out to these different events, conferences, what have you. So it's like, right, plan it. Well, I kind of plan. I know where I'm going and what's happening, and it's like, yeah, just turn up. It's one of them. It's literally just turn up. But the way I was working it out was, I'm getting in from work on a Friday, and then I'm coming in, grabbing something to eat, straight upstairs on the computer, getting everything ready, set up, sharing it to all the different groups, sending it out individually to some people on Messenger, whatever platform they use, just to share what's going to be coming on. And by the time I'd done that, it's like, shit, I've only got like 30 minutes before I go live. So then I flick on and I'm watching, 9 times out of 10 you're on, so I'm watching you. But then as I'm doing that, I'm trying to get everything ready. And it's just constant. So it's like, right, something's got to give. So it's like, well, keep the Wednesday. It's midweek. A lot of people don't really do anything midweek. Friday, a lot of people go out, meeting up, go on holidays, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, right, drop Fridays. And it also then, if I get in from work, gives me a chance to get in, get everything set up, and drive to wherever I'm going to go. And I'm not rushing there on the Saturday to get back Sunday to get ready for work Monday.
Yeah.
I'm more chilled, more relaxed to go further to better locations or whatever conferences. And
that sounds better for your nervous system.
I'll enjoy it more.
Yes, that's beautiful. You could be present.
Yeah,
you'll be present, but you still have one foot in the podcast world. Giant walked in because that is something so beautiful about this. Look, we're talking across the pond, opposite ends of the coast, country, and I love it. But there is something really sacred about meeting in person, having that in-person energy exchange. And if you're out there doing more, it'll help flourish all the. I think that's balance. You just balanced out your schedule for you. That's perfect.
Yeah, and it's just I was working out as well. I've booked a lot of Fridays and Mondays off and there are a few bank holidays.
Mhm.
And I've worked out between now and the middle of August,
Just
I'm
rub
only
it in
working.
again.
I'm only working 4 full weeks.
Wow.
I'm either having a full week off, or I'm doing a 4-day week. And so I've got 5 4-day weeks on the bounce. Then I'm 2 weeks in, 2 or 3 week 4-day weeks. Then 2 weeks in, then 3 4-day weeks. Then a week and a half. Then I've got 2 weeks off. Then I'm in for 2 weeks, and I've got another 2 weeks off. So something like that. Something like that.
And somewhere in there, he's coming to the U.S.
Yes.
That's right, to Gettys, right? To Gettysburg.
Yes,
You guys are doing
yes,
the Gettysburg.
yes.
That's awesome. That's
Yes,
so
and the
cool.
flights are coming down in price as well. So as soon as
That's
it gets
fantastic.
to that, what I'm
The perfect
looking
thing.
at, then
Is that the
it's bad
first
ticket.
time you guys will meet in person? Have you met in person before? Oh,
Nope.
how exciting. Oh, you got to live stream that.
Yes.
That's
yes.
awesome. Oh, how
Yep.
fun. That's so cool.
He's going to meet up with a bunch of people who have been on the show.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
But
That's
then
gonna
I'm
be
meeting
really cool.
I'm meeting a lot of them when they come over here to the different conferences as well.
That's so cool. Yeah, I saw someone was asking you which ones you're going to. So you have quite a few
Yes.
out there. Are you coming to any out here? Gettysburg,
So-
that's gathering, right?
Yeah, it's called the Bash, the Battlefield Bash.
The Battlefield Bash. Cool.
It's a fundraiser.
so-
They don't like to refer to it as a convention, but like it's
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I am. So far, as of tomorrow, I'm supposed to be going to Rendlesham, depending on traffic and weather and all that kind of stuff. And then going to Cannock Chase on the 10th of May for a meetup. So Cannock Chase is like the Skinwalker Ranch of the UK. Loads of weird
Cool.
stuff goes on there. Been there a few times, and we've had just weird, strange, and exciting things happen.
Mhm.
Then the 30th is a cryptid conference down in Somerset in Bridgewater. So I'll go into that. There's a few people in the chat that are going. I'm going to be doing a live stream on the Saturday night. Michael Kopf. I'm going to be interviewing him. So he's going to be on there.
So sweet.
But Neil Ward was in the chat a few minutes ago.
What?
So
Neil War? Like Castle?
Neil Ward.
Oh,
Who?
okay.
Oh, no, different Neil.
Okay. I'm like, he disappeared on me. Where is he?
what I was thinking. He was about, and then he wasn't about. And
But he keeps making new Facebook accounts, so I don't know. Yeah, Castle
Okay.
Dude. Yeah, I'm friends with
we're
Neil.
we're on the hunt. I think he's
Yeah.
MIA for a while now, but yeah. Anyway.
He might be trapped in the castle. So Neil,
He might-
he does a lot of face stuff, like
Oh, cool.
what are they called?
Fairy?
Elementals.
Yeah, elementals.
So he
My blood.
he lives
I'm just
down that
kidding.
way. So I've just asked him if he's going to try and get down there. So I said if he does meet up, he's looking at doing a couple of interviews there. He's taking his camera and that's my plan. There's a couple of people I'm going to interview while I'm there and
Wow.
sit in the car park and sandwich and nice out the boot of my car.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I've got
Tell
the
aliens in
cryptid
the jar.
conference. Yes. Then the one after that is Gettysburg from the 23rd of July. Then the next after that is the 25th of September, which is Festival of the Unexplained here in the UK. So like a 40-minute drive from my house, it's literally up the road.
Wow.
But that's where you've got Ron Iacovete, Lourdes Gonzalez, Frankie Adeo, and a few Jay Austen from the UK, Jay Matthews.
Look at
He's
those
talking
names.
there. There's quite a few others. So, but
you're gonna meet the Cocos too. We have to get them on.
the who?
The Cocos. Todd and Carmela Cocotilo from 222 Paranormal.
Oh, I've not heard of them.
Yeah, they kind of run in the same circle, with Frankie and Ron and Lourdes.
Okay. Yeah,
They're
so
wonderful.
I'm gonna be taking Frankie out for a few drinks I'm teaching him the local lingo. I'm also going to make some up, which he guessed he was going to do anyway. just for the crack, if nothing else. But yeah,
Okay,
so,
we're gonna teach him the U.S. slang when he comes here.
yeah, get me shot.
Can't say the C word here.
Not yet. I don't use that word anyway, so I don't like it. But I have done when required, shall we say. Yeah, so they're the ones that I'm going to at the moment, unless any more pop up that are local to where I live.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. I only have 3 coming up, I think. 3. Yeah, I'm doing the Connecticut Paracon and True Crime Convention in July, Gettysburg in July, and then we're doing the Hollow in October so far.
Oh, cool. That
and
sounds
we're going
amazing.
to New Jersey Para Unity in November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's like normally the ones that I go to are 1 or 2 day events.
Mm-hmm.
But these are like between 2 and 5 days, so it's
Those can be fun. Yeah, the costs go up, but that can be really fun. I was on a roll with those for a long time, for so many years, but about 2 years ago, I sold my role, just financials. We've had the strike and everything, the industry strike. My husband's still in it now, the industry. But when I started working with kids, I noticed some of those events I went to, I was taking home a lot of hitchhikers, like energetics and stuff.
Oh.
So I felt extra protective. And I'm like, I don't think it's safe for me to go to some of these spots. There's some compromised names out there and compromised people, and having exchanges with them, weird things would happen after. I'm like, I'm putting two enough together to go, I'm just going to focus on this mission, and everything will align as it should. So yeah. And I saved some money this year.
Yeah, I was going to look at doing a lot more, but because I want to go back out and investigate, and I want to go to different places. Because normally I'd go to a local cemetery or derelict church, that kind of stuff. I want to go to different locations where I haven't got a clue what's going on. Just turn up and see what happens when I get there.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Favorite little laser. Andy in the States. Nicole, look at that fat dog. Nicole, that's a bear.
Yeah,
well, like you do have to see on a lot of trees, so you may encounter a bear.
So all I want to see is a raccoon.
Oh, hey, that's one of the sacred spirit animals.
Yes, that would be my spirit animal.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm a trash panda.
Well, quick question: do all raccoons have rabies?
No.
All the wild ones? I got told they did.
No.
I think they say anything wild has rabies at this point, but it's really, I think, infected. It has to be infected.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting their rabies shots, obviously, but no.
No, I don't think there's many vets knocking around the woods and national park, really.
We had a raccoon family at our back porch in Portland that we would feed little eggs. They'd bring their babies to show us. We didn't play with them hands-on, but we always fed them, and they hung out and they grew and they multiplied. And then we moved and we're told the people, you have to take care of this raccoon family. At least just love on them.
Well, when I was over in the States the only time I've been over, I was sat on the porch staring at the trash bin. That's what you call it, trash. What do you call them? We call them rubbish bins over here.
The garbage can.
Trash can.
Garbage can. Yeah, wheelie bin. And I'd do a stakeout, and I'd be sat there for like 2-3 hours at a time, like early evening or early morning. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Then I got a message off one of the people that I'd met over there. The next day, I'd gone. They'd come back, and there was I suppose a baby raccoon climbed out the bin.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So not impressed.
Oh.
We're going home with me.
Oh, there you go. The city coons out here are deadly. They're like little wolves themselves. They're huge. Really? Could be all the radiation. No, those are they're just huge. We had them. They take down all our. We had an amazing chicken coop, like double locked in. Like they had little houses inside the house and everything. Those little suckers, like a tin can, just peeled that thing open. Took most of our
Wow.
chickens. Like and then we ran out. My husband confronted one of them once, and that sucker, he was like bigger than a wolf. It was insane, huge. Where they're unlike anything. But then you go into the wild, and they're not that big. So city coons are no joke.
No.
They're like in the trash and everything.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah, Bigfoot's just put in the thing. You call them trash pandas. So it's like,
Trash
well,
pandas.
where are you going to look for one? Outside the trash can.
Yeah.
No.
Only the ones that
I
fall
was
into
e-
the use.
Yeah. I was even lifting the lids up on the trash cans to see if it's, and it like gently in case one flew out and like latched onto my face or something. I wasn't having that. It was like nothing, just
They're
nothing
so
whatsoever.
and fluffy.
It's
they
because
have
they've got
little
because they've got hands
They
and
have
not
little
paws.
paws.
Oh,
It's the hands.
they creepy
That's
out.
what it is. No,
No,
I think they're great.
Because
Well,
did you know that raccoons wash their hands before they eat?
do they?
They do. They like go to find a body of water. They wash their little hands before they eat.
Oh my
They're
god!
civilized.
Yeah.
I love it.
They're cleaner than me. Yeah.
Oh, I love
Oh,
raccoons.
sorry, I'm just going through the chat and it's difficult.
A girl that I know has a skunk as a pet. A
Oh, no
domestic
way.
skunk. Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Has it been deskunked?
Yeah.
You can have the
They're
glands
all
removed, can't they? Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh. I didn't know you could have them as a pet.
Apparently.
Yeah, you can have them.
Oh, wow.
They sell them
You
at a
can
pet
get-
store in Jersey.
Yeah, you can get chipmunks in the UK
What? As a pet?
Aw.
for pets. Not not in the wild. You can get a rabid squirrel if you want one. There's about thousands of them.
Oh, you're gonna be like amazed by the number of deer in the battlefield.
No, I see deer all the time.
There's
Like
just like
all the time.
herds and herds of them, like
Wow.
hundreds of them.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not that many. Probably about the most we've seen together that's not been in the park, that's been in the wild, was probably about 15.
Oh, beautiful.
I like
So
deer.
yeah, I see deer quite a lot. Foxes, I've seen 5 badgers, live ones. That's about it.
Ah. Our little ring cams, we can't. Oh, sorry. What was it, Nicole?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I would say we get spotted a lot of bobcats and mountain lions where we are. Little bobcat and mountain lions. And then Pasadena, you know, where they had some of the fires, they have little black bears in the basin there. So we get a little bit of everything, not just the coyotes and coons.
Yeah, so this is my biggest worry is bears, because I've never had to try and outrun a bear. I've never really enjoyed running, and I'm not sure how good a bear is at running. I don't really want to put that equation into practice and give it my best shot because I'll probably lose.
Oh, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you know, crocodiles and alligators, I heard they run really fast. When you get them on
Yeah.
flat land, really flat land, they can go really fast. So I'd be scared
Do you
out
get-
running those.
Do you get them in Pennsylvania?
Probably not. I don't think so.
No, I hope not.
So, have you
Well,
seen
well,
the difference between a European badger and an American badger?
yes.
And
So
you haven't seen
an
it?
American badger looks like a crackhead, and an English badger looks like it'd invite you to tea.
Really? I gotta
Yeah.
look that up.
There
I
we go.
keep forgetting that I can't put stuff up anymore.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
You can.
Yeah, that's the
There you
cute
go.
little friendly
Oh,
European badger, and then there's the American badger.
Yeah.
no way. I have an insane story about the badgers. I know the honey badger.
Look
There's
at
a
it.
really funny YouTube about the badgers. But I had someone give me a little session a few years ago when I was in survival mode, like single mom survival mode, and my little spirit animal kept coming up as this honey badger. Like, and I'm like, apropos. I was attacking anyone that came close. Badgers are yeah, they can be tough. I love that the English badgers and American badgers, though. I want to show my kids.
There you go.
Oh, they
There you go.
Okay,
Here you go, Aunt. You don't have to be faster than a bear. You just have to be faster than the person with you.
Yes. How fast can you run?
I don't run, but I will
Oh, that,
tame the bear. It's fine. The bear will become my pet. We'll be friends.
oh, there we go.
I'm to die
Sorry.
trying to pet an animal that does not want to be pet.
Sorry, but I'm baiting the slowest person near me. If it's not me already, but that's it.
It'll be
Oh,
fine.
yeah, yeah. So, Heidi, where are you going to any conferences this year?
Not this year. The last round of them, there was one in Florida I went to, and then I do really admire the Journey to Truth boys, Tyler and Aaron. They were friends of mine, and they had their first one was in Grafton, Illinois, and that's where had another little Sasquatch moment and UFO ships and time loss and all this crazy shit
Oh.
happened. But it was a really, it was very empowering. It's just being around your peeps, you're being around your pals, and that was the last kind of thing I went to. That was 2022 actually. Because of the kids. I started working with the kids. And even when I left that one, there was a weird engagement there that I got home and I'm like, no, something's off. Not about them or not about the place or anything. So it's supposed to be the last one there in May is going to be their last one in Grafton. And then they'll probably move. Not sure where though, maybe Arizona or something. But no, there's been a few that I could drive to. I just didn't put the effort in this year. We're catching up. We're getting out of the red. But also, I'm just so knee deep in my little mission that to take that much time away to be around that many high beings, I wasn't able to make it happen this year. And I wasn't asked.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
It's not good enough, is it?
Nope.
No, definitely not.
I volunteered a lot at some. I used to go to Conscious Life Expo a lot too. That's a really big one here in LA. I call it the Star Wars bar. There's a lot of cloaked beings there, a lot of random people there, but really fun to just run into people that you haven't met in person and have those meetings.
Yeah.
So I did stop by that last year. I saw a couple old friends and it was really cool. So now it's all about the kids stuff. My daughter's got a big thing going up to Shasta soon. That's where one of my experiences were. So just putting a lot of protection. And I'm kind of living vicariously through them.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So with your encounters and experiences, do you think there's a connection between them all, or do you think it's just random happenings?
I think the connection I've put myself with them all is about frequency, vibration, perspective, like the stuff I was saying in the beginning, because I'm seeing now callbacks or recalls that take me to childhood or that take me to a prior experience, and so I'm like, oh, so it gets exciting to dot connect in that manner, but it also makes me feel like, wow, it really is a certain frequency you hold, and it's a certain I think once you get tapped in, you're going to always be tapped in, if that makes sense. Like you either being watched or a part of it, or you can tune yourself back in, tune out. So I think I've told someone had said once that I got to look into mediumship, and I have not looked into mediumship as far as being another element of the paranormal stuff. But I do feel connected to things when I look at them and talk to them, when you hold something. So I keep all the kids' stuff. So I think in that sense, it's all related. And I still can't explain a lot of the dark times I had with it, the real terrifying can't sleep times, other than my immediate dot connection is a military involvement or some sort of human involvement with it.
Yeah.
Like it's manipulated. That's what made it, I think, artificial and terrifying. But kind of the natural, spiritually woo, paranormal thin veil, I kind of just, I've felt something neat with it. I never felt terror. I just felt this like, how fortunate. I felt lucky. I felt like, oh, this is a gift. This is an opportunity. Lean into it and see how you can bring this into your 3D. So kind of relations in that sense. Yeah.
What's your opinion on the theory that all of the different aspects of paranormal are different facets of one phenomena?
I'm sorry, what was that? How all different aspects are all part of one thing?
Phenomena.
I don't know about that. I mean, I feel like because they're different, the other side of the veil, really, it's kind of a part of that. But if it's all dark or all light, I can't say that. Do you mean like people say if you think you're talking to your higher selves, or do you think you're talking to an entity, you could be talking to a grandma, or you mean like that? Like it's all really kind of the same, just told in a different version?
Like people have that theory that like Bigfoot and UFOs and ghosts, it's all one thing, just presenting differently.
Oh, I don't know. My first hit is I feel like Bigfoot, Sasquatch are land guardians. Like I feel that is the thing that they are. And that craft are like Merkaba light ships guided by consciousness for some, or manufactured 10 things you can shoot down from the sky that maybe we made. I think they're all little different bits. I feel our ancestors that have crossed over are still, there's a spirit, there's a soul, an energy that you can tap into, that is a fairy energy and a Sasquatch energy, ET energy, or same things told in different ways. I don't feel that because I've had different experiences with each. So, and it felt so much of its own thing. But could it have been a specific frequency? Sure. Could it have just been that? But the storytelling is fun. I prefer.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, what was I saying?
Goodness.
My collage fell down. Ooh, what is it? I'll have to rewind and catch that one. I don't know. That's the family. The story. Interesting.
In your house.
That's it saying yes, it is all connected. Watch this. Boom.
Like, wake up. So yeah. I don't want to say one or the other than it's an interesting question, isn't it?
It is because we interview a lot of people with a lot of different theories, and then you're listening to them.
Do you think?
That makes sense.
That's what I get it. Yeah, listening to all these different people, there's perspective. Even hearing ones that have terrifying Sasquatch ones, I listen with the ears of. But you went in terrified. Is that why it was terrifying? Like it's very interesting. But I do believe stories around the world. Like that's the other bit. I do feel everyone is having this sort of contact, and it takes a certain person and frequency to get that. Can we all do that? Yeah. But I also believe I could be sitting in my back field looking and contacting a ship, but the person next to me can't see it. I could believe that too. They're just not there. Mm-hmm.
So do you think that you're creating that do you think you're creating the frequency? Or you're picking up the frequency?
I think a little bit of both. I think it's like a tune in, because what resonates the most with me is being at a certain frequency, then calling it in and connecting with it. That's happened a few times in a sober mind. I've been able to check the variables on that and try it sober, not sober. And it works best soberly when you're like actually in that frequency, in that tune. And that's why I love people to investigative research, that go out there that are lining themselves up and connecting. I connect with that kind of research. And Jessica Jones and all these kind of people, and seeing how high vibratory being she is, that some of her research I immediately tune into because I believe who she is. But like the even the Sasquatch thing, what aligns most with me is being a child, being innocent, being high vibratory. But I also gave a lot of love to the woods. I respected the planet. I was in love with trees and flowers, and I gave the love. So it was almost like a gift back, like, you know, a little frequency. We connected with my frequency and I could see, and then moved out of that frequency. But it was an honorable thing, you know? So yeah, for kind of like getting yourself to a certain tune so you can tune into the other frequency, and then
Yeah.
boom. In my opinion.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Because
Yeah.
it's like, I've always wondered what it is, because I'm not quite sure with all the stuff that I've had happen, whether it was me tuning in or me creating that frequency.
Then you become a beacon, right? Then they can find you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I get that.
because
Did you have experience as a child?
yeah, from 4 years old.
Okay. I think that's part of it too. If we've been
Yeah.
touched as a child in that sense, like the beacon you put out, they'll kind of check in on
Yeah.
you or offer more. Are you ready for more? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or is it as simple as the thing where it's like you buy a new car and then you see that car everywhere? You're already aware of it, so you see it more in the environment
Yeah.
where you would have just looked past it otherwise.
Oh, total. Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah,
But
that makes
then,
sense too.
but for me, that's another frequency thing, because you've bought whatever car and you're seeing it all the time. So you're seeing the frequency of that car. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I get
So,
that totally. Totally. And
Yeah.
people, you can get lost in the Truman Show of it all, like, oh my God, it's a
oh
simulation and
yeah,
we're all,
yeah,
but it's like, or take control of the remote and control it yourself and then have some fun and play with it a little bit. Call in the things
yeah,
you do want then.
Yeah.
Again, it's all perspective.
yeah,
Manifest
definitely.
that shit.
Manifest that shit.
Yes,
That should be my next tag.
definitely. Got a question for you from Baby with a Laser, Darren. He wants to know, is Shasta the place where the UFOs have been seen flying in and out of?
So, Baby with a laser. I was gonna say Baby Reindeer. Finally, I watched that one. That was good. I think so. I think you mean Mount Adams. That's a really big hot spot. I've been to Isetti Ranch, which is the view, which you sit and skywatch looking at Adams, and you watch the ships fly in and out all night. I actually, interestingly enough, the visit I had there had some whoop whoop like Sasquatch moments, but with the craft, you see so many of them that you're finally like, okay, it's time to go to bed. Like I got to borrow night vision
Wow.
goggles and everything, and just see the zip zag. The ones that I saw going, I'll tell. This is just my personal opinion. Going in and out of the mountain, because you just see the like going in and out. They were so mechanically done that it almost didn't. It felt more like ours. Like it felt military. That was just my interpretation. I had fun with the ones that you'd connect and you'd feel a connection. You go, okay, in your mind's eye, like, okay, so move to my left, move to my right, and they play and then they zip off.
Yeah.
I had fun with those. But the ones that I just saw like coming in and out of the mountain, I was just like watching them for so long going, it would sound unnatural. So that was just my opinion. So, but Shasta, when I shared this before, and my mom, ironically enough, called me this morning just to catch up, and she brought up this experience again, that before I had kids, 2 years before I had kids, we were going to Shasta, and I got this crazy illness come over me, an illness out of nowhere. We checked into our hotel. I wound up freaking out on the couch, like fever dreams and in and out of consciousness kind of thing. Just fell out, and 2 days later, I'm up going, oh, I'm ready for a hike. I just needed a nap. They're like, no, you were out of it. And anyway, we leave the mountain and I'm better. And I cut to all these different randos saying, do you know what happened to you at Shasta? And I go, how do you know I was at Shasta? And it's just this reference of like, you're like a filter. You're, that place, you're bringing up all this, filtering out all these old generations, things that need to come through and like healing or whatever. And it made sense to me. So when I would do our drives going around Shasta, I'd start to get this heavy, heavy feeling. So there's some connection to Shasta. There's a lot of activity at Shasta, both dark and light. And we were driving through the town. I felt a darkness. I was like, this is overrun. It felt super lizardy. And some of the people I met, I was like, you wanted to pinch their skin. They're like, are you something
Oh.
under there? Like some of them are just there. They're human and acting and are like being
Yeah.
full of light. And others are just like dead to the world. I'm like, how is this possible? So I think as much as it brings in all the hippie woos, it brings in a lot of crazy shit too. So Shasta's got a lot. It's what's the tallest on the west, I guess, but it's got a lot of crazy energies there for sure. The whole Siskiyou County, a lot of Squatch, a lot of all that.
Yeah.
I came back home to Shasta. Yes, Carol.
Yeah, I think I need to go there. That's
that
on
would,
my list
yeah.
now.
I'd like to take another venture, maybe without my fam, and just do a whole retreat. See what happens. Maybe with people I
Yeah.
trust, and just to see. And I tried that when the dark stuff that happened to me in the Midwest when I brought my kids back. I was like trying to bubble us up, and because if it's a bloodline thing from my mom to me, are my kids next? And then nothing really crazy happened, but that's what made me think, was it natural? Like, was it actual paranormal, or was it human involvement? And so when I do Shasta, I think a lot of people get activated. They get activated in so many different ways that the story, you just do a search on that, for even YouTube search, and you'll hear a lot of dark stories, you hear a lot of light stories. Robot Grandma will take care of you, Andy.
I think going somewhere with your kids and your family is a really different experience, because you feel you have to kind of be hyper aware to take care of them and make sure they're good. You can't really open yourself up to whatever you're supposed to be experiencing.
Totally. Absolutely. And what I remember too of leaving that hotel in Shasta is before I became a mom, but my little brother was with us, who I was very maternal about, but my mom was with us, who's very in tune. And we went to I guess there's levels when you mountain climb, the basin or some level where you can't drive anymore. You have to start hiking, kind of thing. And I was already feeling better. We checked out. I was already doing okay, but we're there at the hub of the mountain. But my mom said, I just need to sit here for a minute. So she would sit, and she was watching and meditating for a while. And all of a sudden my brother and I are hanging or exploring a little bit, just finishing our snack. And she comes back to the car. She goes, okay, it's time to go. We got to go right now. Like, it's time to leave. We're leaving. And we're just like, oh, and I never quite tapped into that. I'm going to ask her about that again. But I think she was just like, I think that the mountain, it's time for us to go. We need to leave, or let's go. And we just turned back around and headed on our road trip. And so it's like, I think if you tune into it, when it's a good time to come, when it's a good time to leave, when it's a good time to get what you need from it and what you can give back, I guess. So maybe I have to ask her about that, actually. That just came in. Good recall. See? So I always keep my pens and pencils around here. I've got notes everywhere from little things I do. That's how I make this recall, right? That's our timeline. We're piecing these things together. And then we're like, whoa, this is cyclical. This is a storyline that's now I'm seeing patterns of even dates. So I'm just my ages and, so it's important to recall all these things just to get to the root of some stuff. Not I got to solve the mystery, but really how to empower by being able to tap in to be of service. Mm-hmm.
Don't take any draconian crystals from strangers.
Oh, yes. Yes. And I wonder if Shasta, people take stuff from Shasta. I wonder, because, they were telling me that if you take things from Hawaii, a particular island in Hawaii, you get cursed. And they have, right? I just learned about all that. I've never been to Hawaii. And a room parent, a mom, was telling me about it. She goes, there's a post office that collects items from people who've been cursed, saying, take it back. I don't want it anymore.
Oh.
I didn't know that. Did you know all that, Nicole?
Yeah, there's another place like that in New Zealand that's like Holy Land, and they said they're constantly getting stuff sent back.
Wow.
It's like, oh, take it back. I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to take this.
Wow.
Well, I know a guy I used to work with him. He took part of a brick from a temple in Thailand, and he said it was the worst few days of his life. He took it back, and it all stopped.
Wow. See?
Yeah.
Love that. All that's part of that umbrella, paranormal, right?
Like,
but is it actually a curse, or do you think that you're going to get cursed because you've heard the stories and then you associate anything bad that coincidentally happens with a curse?
That's a good one too.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just don't be superstitious about it. See what
Yeah.
happens.
It works for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
Carol. We learned that from the Brady Bunch. Greg got cursed. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh yeah, those shadow entities, Kevlar.
From the
Oh
DMT
yes.
excursion.
You know, I did a huge parasite journey cleanse 2020. It kicked a lot of my shit. Really rebooted myself. That was a big one. I didn't DMT, but I did metal and parasite.
Wow.
Think that they hold on to something too. Yeah, that voice to text skull, technology, all that kind of stuff. It can make you go batty when you hear about it, because then you doubt, like, oh, am I not hearing spiritual things? The communities collide when it comes to all this information. I really feel like people can go the science route and people can go this route. I go, well, what are the experiencers thinking? And the experiencers to me are just tapping into the moment, and are they able to do it again at a later time, like tap into that connection. And I just like listening to experiencers now more than usual.
But that kind of is the intersection between the science and the woo-woo, because if something is repeatable and it's documentable, then it's science.
Oh, that's true. There you go.
Mm.
It's like you're making like a lab report. You're writing up a lab. You get enough observations, it could be put into a scientific lab report. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Because I think if it's more natural occurrence, there's less chance of it happening constantly over and over. I'm not saying it won't, but I think the odds are against it.
Yeah. Like, say you accidentally astral travel while you're sleeping. Like, you can't control that. You can't repeat it on demand. But when you learn to, you meditate, you learn to control it, then it is repeatable.
And it becomes a science.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pseudoscience, British science. What do they call that?
Just science.
It's definitely not science.
Parascience. There we go. We'll give it our own label.
I like that.
Right. So we're gonna ask the question. Nicole will ask the question.
And Andy will not try to sway you either way.
Uh-oh.
So we have a question that we asked to pretty much all of our guests. If you could know everything, all the answers to everything paranormal, would you want to know?
Oh, that's such a good question. And I've heard that before, and I've battled it, because part of the journey is the exploration, and that's the education. I'm an educator, so that's how you get people to unlock. So yeah, I would want to learn as I go. All at once, I think you'd go mad and run to the hills and just become a hermit. But as it came in slowly, you could have this awakening. I think that would be that's my instinct answer anyway.
Andy doesn't want to know. I do want to know.
Pardon?
Oh, Andy doesn't want to know. I want to know.
You would want to know all at once. Would you then teach with? Yeah, then you could be a teacher of it, or be the an oracle of it, or I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, and you can question it further. You can go into, and now that you know the whats, you could ask the whys. And the hows.
I'm happy just trying to find it out and getting it wrong every single time. The mystery of it. And it because then it won't be the unknown then.
Well, yeah. But I do hear, my other thought is, but what if you don't in that lifetime? It would be neat in your one lifetime if you knew it all, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. That's such a good one. That's a really good question.
Yeah. That has got to be my all-time favorite question.
It's perfect. It is perfect. And I have been asked, though, would I do it all again? Even the scary bits, like having those experiences. I'm like, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think I encourage writers. I encourage young writers, especially if you don't have someone to chat with, just to journal. to get your
Yeah.
streams of consciousness and channel writing out, just get things out. But to reflect now as an adult looking back, I'm like, I've been questioning the existence
Yeah.
of all that is our whole life. This is exciting. This is
Yeah.
exciting. Aw.
The
Yeah,
comments are going crazy about Robot Granny.
I know. Right.
She's not a robot. She was going to the casino with friends.
Can I need to ask now, who or what is Robot Grandma?
I don't
She's a
know.
grandma. Robot.
Yeah, where did you guys get that? I know Big Fort Dwarf said his granny brought him back a rock from Shasta.
Yeah.
Is that where it came from? Or is this something from a different show?
This was earlier on in the chat.
Oh.
Garrow put something on in the chat about Robot Grandma will protect you.
Oh.
So, I've no
Ew,
idea.
what's Robot
And I
Grandma?
just thought it was like some American slang for something. So I'm like, right, I'll keep.
Oh, Jessica RV. She RV'd a Robot Grandma.
Ah, right.
Oh, good.
I got it.
Jane.
Okay.
There you go. Hi, Polly. Hi to
right.
Israel.
There was a Robot Grandma story from the Missing 411 series, which investigates mysterious disappearances in national parks. He vanished briefly while camping, only to return with the unbelievable story of encountering a robotic version of his own grandmother.
Oh,
According to the boy, this robot grandma led him away from his family, asking strange questions and behaving in odd mechanical ways.
Oh.
Yeah, wasn't that the one that said to poop on this napkin? The grandma told him to poop on this napkin, and he came back and told, and they were like, and he knew, the kid knew that wasn't his grandma. Like that somebody took over his grandma. Am I getting the stories mixed?
That's where Tommy's gone.
He's still changing his diaper.
He's got the nappy. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be what happened.
I think that was the shot. Hi, Shauna. Go to Dad's and say bye, Dad. Yeah, Shauna. Oh, yeah, I think I heard that. It was with Shasta. That was one of the paranormal stories. Yeah. I was binging some of them because that's where I'll be sending her soon. So I'm like, I want to get all the sides.
Well, make sure you get her like a metal detector so she can test any grandmas that she encounters.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Or a magnet. Just a big magnet.
Walk around with
go.
a magnet.
You'll be
That's
fine.
perfect. Yes. Calling all her protection. Calling her a little dragon. I like all that stuff.
There we go. So Mount Shasta's a volcano. Is it
quite a few?
Or
not that I know of. What's our active one? Was it by Yellowstone? Yellowstone's volcanic energy.
Geyser, right?
The geyser.
Helen.
Helen. We watched Sound Helen's Erupt when I was a kid. Like, but it was more of an annoyance. My mom's like, "Watch it. This is historic," and I'm like, "I want to go outside." And then we were in the it was raining ash for like 2 weeks after that. And we sled on our driveway and everything. That's when we covered up, but it was, it was right then. What was it, 82, 81, something? We had a little picture window over downtown Portland. You could see it. But that was hard. That covered a lot of ground, Helen's. That covered a lot of incredible sacred area. And the Squatch thing happened soon after that. So maybe I saw a little dude that was like, "Hey, volcano with lizard people living underneath." That's what I heard.
Lovely. That's what you need, isn't it? Lizard people and volcanoes. That's what the UK is missing. No, it really is.
Speaking of which, Heidi, what are your thoughts on Inner Earth?
I have I love elemental stuff. I love Inner Earth kind of stuff. I've, again, like with Shasta and Lumeria and all these kind of ancient stories or passed down stories or legends or whatever, it all resonates. I do feel like there might have been some civilizations that scurried underground as the surface was recalibrating, as it does. That was potential. I also love that story, and I know you both talked about it recently too, Jessica had it on as well about the green kids. Because you blew me away,
Yes.
Andy. You brought up 1920, and that resonated a lot more within the 12th century. So I'm
Yes.
wondering if this is a little manipulated story timeline to keep us from
Mandela
questioning.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
So
just talked about that, Mandela.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
that's pretty.
I
That's
I
pretty
was
interesting. Mhm.
sorry. I was, like I said the other day, I'd have put money on it that it was the 1920s, but everyone's like, no, it's definitely the 12th century, the 1200s.
Huh.
I'm like, I'm sure it wasn't.
Isn't that interesting?
Because I've heard that story quite a few times growing up,
Mhm.
from like being like 10, 11, 12, all the way up until a few days ago.
Yeah.
And I've been to that part. I've been through Woolpit. I've been in the village. I've been around the outskirts.
Mhm.
And every time I go, I always drive as slow as possible without causing any disruption. And having a proper look round. It's a little tiny place.
Mhm.
And it's just, there is a feel about it. There's something, you can still feel something there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I've got that in my mind and I know this thing happened.
Mhm.
But like I said, going back to what you said about the 1920s, that just means a lot more than the 12th century or whenever it was.
Yeah, it resonates a lot more with that one. I just feel
Yeah.
like it's passed down clearer because so much happened from 12th century on. I mean, that we don't even know.
Yeah.
But the inner earth thing too, it aligns to me with, oceans, space, the civilization. It's everywhere. We're just familiar with who's living on the surface of the earth. What about all the other nooks and crannies and crevices and dimensions? That's why it's such a busy. What did I hear? I heard once in some podcast a long time ago that Earth was like a 7-Eleven stop, like just a pit stop for all these different beings coming in and out, and that made sense too. We just happen to be the inhabitants of it, and getting a little
Not even aware of
transhumanist.
it half the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm interested in all those things. I think I love the stories of the Fae, in Scotland and Ireland and the elves. And I mean, all the tales, these get passed down. I mean, from passing down stories, teaching about Norse mythology and those old storylines. And the questions kids always have is, this was a story passed down. How do we know it's true? And I'm like, how do we? How do
How do you know it's not true?
How do you know it's not? Yeah. How does it make you feel? Does it resonate? Mm-hmm. So
maybe do you ever think about how maybe back hundreds of years ago we used to be way more sensitive because there was a lot less going on? Like there's a lot less
tech
from the natural
tech.
world. You had to be in tune with the natural world to survive.
Yes, I also think when you brought up tech, that's what I think of because the interference. However, it's the tech that allowed us to start hearing people's stories from around the world that are actually quite similar, and we've been having those forever. I look at the Hopis and all these different civilizations that have had similar storylines themselves. So it's super super interesting stuff.
Yeah, but when I just said about
into the chat,
but when I just said about the technology that we've got, all these different sound waves and frequencies still existed then before we had the tech.
Then we could tap into it. You're right.
So is it just because we've got the technology that it's becoming more? I can't think of the word. Oh, we're more close to it. No, because it's still there. It's like
it's
microwaves.
More accessible, or we're more in tune to it.
No, I can't think of the word.
No, aligned with it.
We're making it more active with the tech that we've got.
Oh, okay. We're amplifying
we're amplifying it because it's there all the time. We're just getting a direct connection to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is? Or could it be something else?
I I like the amplification of it because we are, little light beings ourselves. So we're all amplifying all of it. And maybe so many more of us now that we find others that have similar experiences, then we just it's like we're pinging each other all around the world. So everything's just amplifying. But yeah, I love when you said that these frequencies have been there from before us, the animals that emit it. And now here we are just pinging alongside them. And now the tech can read it. So there's the little scientific proof of it.
Yeah, we've just got the
It's all in
instruments that are picking it up, showing us that it's there. Because think about all the stuff that's still here that we know nothing about, that we haven't got any way of identifying.
But we're getting there.
I know.
But it is like the radio waves are there. They're around you all the time. You just can't hear them until you have some tool to tune into it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was trying to get to. Yeah.
And
exactly
and then you get nefarious things tuning in too. Like even with the big city, they go down and just it gets too much that you're tuning into. You have to calibrate yourself to be among it. But every so often, like I remember some of the darkest days during all those crazy days of 2020 and 2021 going into Hollywood, there were certain areas you turn in that you just felt like, like something is like zapping. And then sure enough, you see mania on the streets and people behaving a certain way. So I think there's an attempt to control all of these frequencies. However, the natural is still among it. So there's just always this war on consciousness, but this war on all that stuff as well. So the more of us that we can keep playing with tuning ourselves to it and kind of harnessing it a bit, maybe we can help combat all the nefarious noise that's trying to tune into it and just at least discern and differentiate easier.
Yeah. But did you hear or see this week about, I don't know if it's in the UK or not, about the LED street lighting?
Oh yeah, we got that here.
And the guy who went to the authorities and said, look, it's causing this, and this, all these different illnesses, and they've actually shut it down because they proved
haven't
them
here
right.
yet. We're praying that they shut it down because we've noticed considerable differences, and they're putting them in all the public street lights. They put them everywhere. They mandated us to change our bulbs. You can hardly find regular light bulbs anymore, and they're very costly. So there's a big a lot of people rising up trying to ask for that demand to switch it back because it's sold as cleaner, faster, anything to sell it as, but it's totally manipulating our natural frequency. So I'm not a fan of this.
That light bulb from like Einstein's time, where that's still lit, right? Have you seen that?
I've heard. I think I've heard. I don't know if I've heard that it's still lit, but I mean, it would exist today. Yeah, it's still. What's wrong with that basic Tesla stuff?
Yeah, there's one at least one like really really old light bulb that's still lit, still working, hasn't burnt out. And it's kind of a testament to how they're making things disposable now. Like, how often do you have to change your light bulbs? How often? And this one from hundreds of years ago is still going. I'm going to find out exactly how long.
Yes. So I've just put this up. So Og lives not too far from Rendlesham, but she's right on the coast in this like Suffolk, Norfolk way. Said since they've had the LED lights along the front and 5G Wi-Fi, her ears haven't stopped ringing.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's Centennial Light. It's actually in California.
Oh.
It is
in
Livermore, California.
Livermore?
Livermore, yeah. At the Fire Station 6, the world's longest burning light bulb has been burning since 1901 when it was put in.
Wow.
I'm going to tell the class that. Livermore, that's wine country. That's up by the Bay Area. I was up there once. That's really cool. So, then LA, they started sending us these LEDs in the mail. And I'm like, don't touch it, don't put it in. And then that's all you buy now. And someone, you just put in the chat there. He said once it all changed, he can feel a different ringing in his ears. And then they sell you online. Oh, if you're hearing ringing in ears, you're transcending or something. I'm like, or you're just tapped into the LED 5G stuff, and you're like,
Yep.
You just don't know.
But
You
do
have
you
to
remember-
be in tune to know.
But do you remember before the LED lights, you get the ones with like the not neon, but they had gas in them.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah,
like
pop.
they look like
A
swirly
little coil.
light bulb. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I broke one once. I was playing a game on PlayStation or Xbox, and I was swinging this plastic sword about. That's how you need to know. And I smashed it. Anyway, we read up on it afterwards. If you smash one, you're supposed to vacate that room for at least 48 hours, and that because of the toxins in the that were inside the bulb. And it goes.
Way.
Yeah, I read that about 4 days after. I'm like, a bit late.
Let me guess, though, they'll probably try to inject them in a child. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm really against that stuff. Yeah. But it's not okay there. Oh, that's cool. You put that in the chat. Yeah, I'm going to look that up. Thank you. That's really cool. Mercury light bulbs, Andy, he said.
No, I don't think there's mercury. It was It was a gas. It was a gas release.
Compact fluorescent. Wow.
But I can't. Compact fluorescent. That sounds familiar. Yeah, it was I can't even say it, fluorescent light bulbs before LED.
Yeah.
So we're going back to like 2010, 2012.
Holy smokes.
And they'd send you a pack through the post. You get like 6. And they're supposed to last for about 10 years each.
Oh, I'm gonna
So
get
you
those.
smash one with a plastic sword and you
I
all
hope you
die
won
of-
your game. Did you win?
No, because I smashed that and then it's like, shit, what have I done? And then I got beat because I wasn't watching the TV.
Well, there you go. I don't mean to be a party pooper. I probably have like 5 to 10. I didn't know you were going to go this long. I have to take my little man to a pentathlon training.
That's fine.
I didn't know.
6 hour.
I didn't. I just thought we'll just keep going until someone drops. Not Tommy.
I'm so sorry. My peeps will probably be like laughing. Yeah, I had no idea you were going to go to the level. I have to take my little man about a half hour away he's training for the Roman games. Like they're doing this race, or this competition between different kind of like Waldorfy kind of schools, the pentathlon. Greek. He's correcting me. Like the discus and javelin and all that. So he's going to be, you guys keep going. I might have to dip, but I just realized it's my carpool time soon.
Well, that's cool.
This is an hour and a half podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wasn't far off in thinking. Okay.
No. We was going to do a little bit longer only because it's the last one on a Friday.
Of course.
But that was it. So
because we thought we'd have Tommy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He'll probably pop back.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll pop back if he hears. Yeah.
He's gone. He's gone. He's probably out on the bay and there's nothing wrong with him. That's more like it.
We were supposed to have a toast to the last Friday.
Yes. Oh, go on then. I've got to drive early tomorrow, so I'm not drinking. So I'm going to have
drinking. Nobody else.
my self.
Cheers to your last Friday. Cheers to last Friday. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on.
That was really fun. Maybe I can interview you guys sometime. Come on, high vibe hang out. We'll talk more frequency vibration again.
Yes.
I love all this shit.
I'll bring the light bulbs.
Woohoo!
Yes.
It sounds like a really stupid topic, but it is interesting.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And if you think of just how common everybody uses them, how easy that would be to try to target them to change it for whatever reason they want. And like they meaning anyone who wants to kind of keep us dumbed down and not aware that there's a multidimensional world going on out there. They're trying to help us out.
Right. Light bulbs and fluoride in the water.
Yes. Surrounded by it.
What more could you want for free? Well, it's not free. You pay taxes, so you're getting it and you're paying for it. Gets
Woohoo!
better, doesn't it?
That's awesome. Join on Wednesdays. Yeah, looking forward to your Wednesday shows and looking forward to seeing you guys in the field. So please share all your experiences and stuff. That's going to be exciting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more shorts, stuff, more Instagram. Still don't like
Cool.
TikTok.
Mhm.
The odd bit on Facebook. Just keep these 3 going. And I think that's it, really.
Okay. Awesome.
Well,
Huck, you
there
want
you
to say
go.
hi real quick? Huck? Come. Okay. Now it's UK across the pond and the East Coast. Sometimes my kids pop on and say hi.
All right.
But he's not into it. He's got his
He's not having
medieval.
it today.
He's not into it. He's like, I gotta throw a javelin. Let's go. Okay.
I usually does the second that we end. She will like walk. She's hiding over here, and she like walks over. She's like, "Hi."
Oh,
Yeah.
yay. Well, again, I'm so sorry. Yeah, thanks to the chat for having me. I'll dip out. You guys
No,
keep
thank you.
talking and I'll listen to you in the car on the way there. But so honored to come on and talk. And thank you, Andy, for making it happen because I know we were
No,
supposed
thank
to
you.
so long ago and I that just didn't
No,
work out.
it's one of them things, isn't it? It wasn't anyone's fault. The
Yeah,
government.
And
It
just real
aligned.
quick, where people can find you.
Sure. I think the best way to find me is Linktree/Heidi Popp. That has all my I have Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, BitChute, whatever, TikTok,
Yeah.
all the things are on there. And I just bounce. I do what I can. Thank you, Jane. I love the YouTube crowd. I try to go live as much as at least once a week, hopefully more, and then interview people. But I'm active on social media and I share my journey. So yeah. Thanks, folks. Thanks,
Cool.
peeps. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, baby reindeer.
Right.
Just kidding.
That's his new name. That's his
Sorry,
new
it's the
name.
first thing I saw. I just binged it.
Oh,
Thank
here
you
we
to all
go.
you. And nice officially cyber meeting you too, Nicole. And
Nice to
Andy.
meet you.
Yeah.
We'll
And
talk
Milky,
you
my
too.
goodbye. Pardon?
Right, we're gonna do another 5-10 minutes at the
Okay.
most, and then we're gonna end. Is that all right,
All
Nicole?
right. Well,
5
yeah, I was
minutes.
leaving. Bye, guys.
Right, see you later. Take care. See you soon. So, thank you, Heidi, for coming on. That was so much
Yeah.
fun.
That was fun.
Tommy's a letdown.
Damn it, Tommy. But you know what? He had surgery and he still came on. He still came on to say hi.
Yeah,
And
but
he didn't shut the stream down when he popped in to say hi.
there is that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give him
I
that.
popped in to say hi and
Yeah.
I shut it down.
Yeah. Well, I can't be on. No one can be on. Boom. Oh, yeah. So, yes, I need to get Bigfoot Dwarf back on. I know he's in Heidi's chat. I don't know if Heidi's shut her channel down. I'm watching both chats, so I'm not sure. But I would like to get Bigfoot Dwarf on this Monday. Is it a bank holiday in the US on
Nope.
Monday?
I am working.
Do you not get Easter bank holidays?
No, we don't even get Easter Sunday. We're heathens.
What the hell?
It's
I'm
a
in the
religious
right
holiday.
this weekend. I'm in the right country.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still going. So yeah, Bigfoot, if you want to come on Monday, it would be. Oh, what time do you need to leave for work?
1:30.
1:30. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's
6:30.
6:30. So if we did it 4 p.m. UK time, 2, 3, 4. That'd be 11 a.m. for you.
Mm-hmm.
And 8 a.m. for Bigfoot Dwarf. So if you can
Are you
do
early
8 a.m., you will be.
Bigfoot Dwarf, early riser. Let's go. 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Come on, we'll set it up now so we know what's
Breakfast
going on,
chat.
and we'll just do an hour. We don't have to do any more than that. Yes, yeah, he's still in the chat. He's in Heidi's chat. So 8 a.m. Monday. Yeah, because I need to get him back on. I want him to talk about the redwood forests up in California. Not is it California
Oh,
North?
Bigfoot Dwarf is still here.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, Heidi's left your chat open, so it's all good.
Cool.
Yeah, no problem. Wicked. I will send you the link on Sunday. I'll get it all set up tomorrow and send it all over. Bring him on now. Keep the show going.
I have two things tonight.
If it didn't have stuff to, I've got to be up in less than 8 hours. So
You've done 48 hours a week before.
yeah, but we're going to do a 48-hour show at some point as well.
Yes, we are.
Solid, non-stop. One stream, not going to switch. It's just going to be continuous on one. And that's it.
It'll be like one of those old-fashioned telethons.
Yes, but not as exciting. No, it will be. It will be
See,
good.
Og has to go soon, and we can't continue without Og, so we're going to have to shut down.
And I've got to go because I've got to download this and re-upload it for podcast. So here we go. Just going to play a couple of creepy voiceovers. Yeah. It just didn't sound right. Right, here we go. Eventually, when it works, I've just got to keep pressing it.
If you would like to help to support the channel, you can do this by joining the YouTube membership or Patreon, which both have a number of different tiers, or you can donate via PayPal. Links are in the channel description.
And then
this episode will also be available as audio wherever you listen to your podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, etc., as well as being available on Audible.
There you go.
Move a mountain, Andy.
Now,
it's motivational. Move a mountain.
I know. I need to. Well, that's what I'm doing this year. Yes, that's what I'm doing this year, is coming out of my comfort zone again a little bit more, and going to these places. But a lot of them are just going to go on my own. Just turn up at someone's house. I don't know. Right, what's for dinner? Where are we going on this road trip? Just random stuff like that. Yeah. So, right. So, obviously, this is the last Friday we're going to be doing. Well, it's not, because the next one's in 4 weeks, but these are the special ones. So this is Brandon Thomas. Yeah, it's the last podcast, because all the other Fridays from here on in are going to be to members only. Only because so many people have helped support the channel for the last, it'll be 2 years in June. So nearly 2 years now. So many people have helped support the channel. It's just, I did start doing some members only with the guests, but then YouTube become a bit of my bed. So kind of knocked it on the head for a bit. So now the Fridays that we do now is going to be members only. So it doesn't matter what. Right. I've gone. Completely gone. So yeah, Fridays are going to be members only. Yeah. So a lot. So it's going to be like when Brandon Thomas and Dawn Lester come on, and then Mark Ollie is going to be come on, talk about different things, and then when we're out at events and conferences, going to do some live footage while we're there. Going to be doing the odd Monday here and there, and then there's a few Saturdays going to be doing filming and covering. What? No need to hear what you're saying.
The ice cream truck is outside, and they're asking if I want ice cream. So I had to yell out the window, "Yes, I want ice cream."
There you go, then. It's fine.
And now I'm going to go eat ice cream from the ice cream truck.
Right. So, yeah. So that's how Fridays are going to roll. They're all going to be members only, just to give some feedback. And that is pretty much it So we've got Wednesdays are completely booked now up until the 2nd of July. And every Wednesday running up to then. So if anyone would like to come on the show, you are more than welcome. Drop me a message so the email address is guest@alienateuk. No. I ain't got a clue. Can you talk now, please? I forgot how to do it. There you go.
Alienate.uk. Right?
It's because I've got alienateuk.com as well, but I don't use that for emails.
Well, now I have paranormal.com. I'm gonna have to put my email in my name like you did. You didn't tell me you were putting emails around.
I did. I said do it like on Wednesday. I said put it in. You can add it on there now. Yeah. So everyone watching on Heidi's show, you are more than welcome to jump over and subscribe to this channel, because I do want to get Heidi on again. Bigfoot Dwarf is coming on, and if any other of you guys in the chat want to come on and talk about your encounters or theories, you are all more than welcome to come on. It'd be Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. UK time, which is 3:30 EST, 2:30 Central Time, 12:30 noon PST, and 1:30 Mountain Time. If that's a thing, I can't remember. Gerald did send me a picture. He sent me a picture of America and all the different time zones, but he also did Hawaii, which I think would be 11:30, and Alaska, which I think is.
Guys, make it easy. Just freaking subscribe, and then it tells you when we're live. You don't have to do math.
Yeah. Subscribe. Set your notifications. Do whatever it is you need to do to remember to watch. So it's
subscribe, and hit that bell.
And share. So it's every Wednesday for 90 minutes, 8:30 UK time till 10 p.m. So if you like and subscribe, hit the notification bell and tell all your mad friends.
And if you want to hang out with us on Fridays when we do weird, random things and paranormal cards and whatever,
it's going to be more. That's going to be more like updates and talking about conferences. Do a Q&A when there's something big in the news or when there's something weird going on. Yeah.
We're hanging out.
Yes. Yeah. Like what Heidi does. She does the Heidi Hangout. So do something similar to that. Mm-hmm. And there are some people that were regular guesting coming on that I do want to bring back on again. Mm-hmm. Obviously not all of them, but thank you. Cheers, Kevlar. There's a few. Anyway, it's all good. So
now this 5 to 10 minutes is turning into 20 to 30 minutes.
Right. Well, I'm done now. Unless you've got anything you want to add. I'm just dragging it out.
I know we don't want Fridays to end.
I know, but they've got to, so we have no choice.
So I gotta go.
I need to go to bed and get up early and then get McDonald's breakfast. So yes.
What are you getting from McDonald's?
Double sausage and egg McMuffin meal, no cheese, extra sausage, hash brown, and fresh orange juice.
You already no.
Oh, that is the only thing I would get on a McDonald's. I've tried other stuff. Pancakes are not bad, but we only get like 6 things on the breakfast menu, and we only have until I think it's 11 a.m. It used to be 10:30, and then they cut the breakfast off. So yeah, you got to be up.
I don't eat breakfast.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm getting. So everyone have an absolutely magnificent Easter weekend. Don't eat too much. Don't eat too many chocolate bunnies. You can if you want. I'm not going to call the police on you or anything, but there you go.
I can't.
I don't know. Right, I'm going. Gonna end it now.
Okay. That was a way to end Fridays forever.
Yeah. Eat as many chocolate bunnies as you want, but if the police come knocking, it's Nicole.
Andy didn't call them.
It wasn't me. Right. Have fun, everyone. Take care. See you Wednesday, same time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.